Welcome inside another edition of Vikings Update. I'm Mark Potts, Sports Information Director here at Valley City State. Exciting week as we get set for the opening of the spring baseball season. We'll talk with Casey Olney, head coach of Viking baseball, later in the show. But first, we're going to start with basketball, where we had the North Star Athletic Association conference tournaments last week. Exciting news to kick off the show this week as we were able to officially announce that the Viking men's basketball team has qualified for the NAI National Tournament. VCSU was revealed as an at-large selection to the tournament on Wednesday night's NAI selection show. The Vikings received a number 6 seed in the tournament and have drawn number 3 seed Tennessee Wesleyan in the first round. Tournament is made up of 4 brackets of 8 teams each. That first round game, it is bright and early, 8:30 a.m. on Thursday, March 10th. So the season continues for the Viking men. This marks the second time in the last 4 years that they have made it to the national tournament. Viking men were in action last week for the NSAA Conference Tournament. VCSU is a top seed for the tournament, hosted Viterbo University in the first round on Thursday. Vikings built a comfortable lead in the second half, but had to hang on down the stretch. Vikings held on for a 69-67 victory, with Elwood Ellenson drawing an offensive foul on Viterbo as time expired. Jaden Ferguson led the Vikings with 18 points. Justin Galloway added 14 and 4 assists in the victory, which was VCSU's 21st win of the season. VCSU's conference tournament run came to an end in the semifinals when they hosted University of Jamestown. The Jimmies knocked down 8 first-half threes as they built a big lead that the Vikings could not overcome. VCSU dropped the contest by a score of 94-75. Ferguson again led the Vikings with 25 points. The sophomore from Williston now just 14 points away from reaching 1,000 career points at VCSU. Nigel Drury added 11 points and 7 rebounds. Conference awards were announced Monday night on the men's side, and VCSU had 3 players earn honors. Justin Galloway was named the North Star Defensive Player of the Year. Ferguson was named First-Team All-Conference, and Daryl Howell was named Second-Team All-Conference, so congrats goes out to those 3 Vikings. Viking women also had the conference tournament last week. VCSU entered as the number 3 seed, hosted Presentation College in the opening round on Wednesday night. All Vikings in this one. VCSU poured in 31 first-quarter points and were out to a big 88-60 victory. Georgia Williams scored 23 points in the win for the Vikings. Courtney Dixon had a near double-double with 11 points and 9 rebounds. 18th win of the season for VCSU. On Friday, Vikings went to number 2 seed Dickinson State for the conference semifinals. Dickinson took full advantage of home court, shooting the lights out from three-point range in the early going. Dickinson made 6 of its first 9 threes as the Blue Hawks built a big halftime lead. Viking offense found its groove a little bit in the second half, but it was too little too late as VCSU fell 83-56. Allie Vandal scored 11 points off the bench to lead VCSU. Vikings finished the season with an 18-10 overall record. North Star Women's Awards were announced on Sunday. VCSU junior Georgia Williams was named First Team All-Conference. Second straight year that Williams earned the first team honor, so congrats goes out to Georgia. Viking softball was back in action at the Presentation College Dome this past weekend. Opened the weekend with a 7-5 victory over Dickinson State, which is ranked number 12 in the nation. Morgan Nally and C.J. Hillhorst both homered, and Nally earned the win pitching. Vikings went 3-1 overall on the weekend, defeated Mayville State 8-2 on Saturday, getting a big home run from Kelly Moore. And then on Sunday, VCSU shut out Northern State 5-0 in the first game, getting a complete game pitching performance by Morgan Nally. Last game of the weekend finally went against the Vikings as Dickinson State scored in the bottom of the 7th to defeat VCSU 4-3. That was VCSU's first loss of the season. Vikings are now 7-1 to start the year. Up next, they will head to Tucson, Arizona for their spring break trip, March 12th to 20th. This weekend marks the spring season opening games for Viking baseball. VCSU will be outdoors with doubleheaders at Midland University on March 5th and 6th. Those games will be played in Fremont, Nebraska. We'll talk a little bit with VCSU coach Casey Olney later in the show. Viking Track and Field sending 1 representative to the NAI Indoor Track and Field Championships this weekend. Siri Geisler will be representing the Vikings in the women's shot put. She's currently ranked 22nd in the nation, but is within striking distance of a top 10 finish. Women's shot put is set for March 5th at 10 a.m. The rest of the Vikings have begun prepping for the outdoor season, which is currently scheduled to start March 24th with a meet at Black Hills State University. 10 new future Vikings to announce this week, all football players, as Valley City State football announced its second group of 2016 commitments, a very widespread group of players featuring student athletes from 7 different states. 3 North Dakota recruits on the list, including linemen Riley Girding and Brady Shook from Mandan High School, and Jesse Niram, a linebacker from Surrey, North Dakota. Football recruiting about wrapped up for the 2016 class at Valley City State. Vikings are set to open the 2016 season August 25th at home against rival University of Jamestown. And a quick reminder, the Viking Fish Fry is Friday, March 4th, 5:30 p.m. at the Valley City VFW Club. Tickets are $15 for the meal and door prizes included. They can be purchased at the door. Proceeds benefit VCSU athletic scholarships. Our guest this week on Vikings Update, Casey Olney, head baseball coach here at Valley City State. And Coach, it is March, and that means baseball is just around the corner. You are set to open the season this weekend at Midland University. First off, how are you and the guys doing? You ready to get going?
Absolutely. We've been feels like we've been ready for a long time, and now game week's here, and we feel like we need another month to prepare. But no, we're ready to go out, and these games early on, it's just important that you get to play them. The weather looks great down there. The field's ready. I just talked to their coach this morning, so we're set to leave on Friday and get going Saturday, Sunday.
So give us a little taste of the season coming up. You have a lot of experience returning in the infield, some new faces in the outfield. Just give us a little taste of what we can expect from the Vikings this year.
Well, a lot of familiar faces, Demers, Anderson, Bagby, Micklejohn, Rambo will all be out there playing for us like they have been for a couple years, and then some new guys in the mix in the outfield. I'd hate to predict how those battles are going to go, but some good pitchers that we brought in as well as some returning. So I'm pretty optimistic about things. It's a new season and anything can happen, but we have a lot of talent that I think will show through, as we play out this spring season.
A lot of momentum coming into this year. Set about a dozen school records last year. 32 wins was a new school record. Obviously that's something to shoot for. But have you talked to the guys about goals for the year so far?
Well, our goals, we don't talk about wins and losses. We talk about the process, which is kind of a standard way to go about it. The thing that we understand, especially after this fall, is last year, good or bad, does not matter, and it doesn't get any easier each year. You have to start from scratch and put in the time. Now we hope that with what we did last year and what we accomplished, we can go to that next step and improve on that, but it doesn't get any easier from one year to the next, regardless of last year's results.
Now, you and I have talked off air a little bit. Very tough spring trip for you to Tucson, Arizona, tough schedule. But these opening games against Midland, how has Midland looked this year? What do you expect down there?
Midland has been putting up runs like crazy. I think they're averaging like 10 runs a game.
Okay.
So I expect them to be a challenging team, as they always are. We've gone down there almost every year for about 10 years, and it's always a tough battle, a good test for us. They've been out already this spring. Get to spring trip, it doesn't get any easier, and that's fine. The teams that we're going to play in our league that we need to beat, the best way to prepare for that is to play a tough schedule, and our schedule in Tucson is very challenging.
Yeah, right now, projected top team in the league, Bellevue University, go out there and beat a top-ranked team, so going to be tough. Also, end of the year, you guys are going to be hosting the conference tournament again. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, this is an exciting situation. Jamestown University and Valley City State are going to combine to host that tournament. 8-team format now with the new league, so we'll host it at dual sites. And if you're interested in baseball and you're in the state of North Dakota, this would be a great place to come check out a lot of good baseball.
And that comes up in early May again. Valley City State, Jamestown hosting the North Star Athletic Association Conference Tournament. Casey, appreciate the time. Best of luck this weekend and the season.
Thanks, Mark.